It's Free Food Friday on 101 The Fox.
Now, Kansas City's biggest foodie. Here's Slacker.
That's right. Every Friday, I get together with some of the fine restaurants, pubs, and eateries in and around the greater Kansas City area, and we share their fare with you. And this morning, I always like to start my day, or even in the mid-morning or early afternoon, at eggtc. And I'm very pleased to welcome the man, the myth, and the legend, my buddy, Big Greg. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, Slacker. How are you doing?
I am great. You know what? We talked about this a few weeks ago. I was sitting at your counter there and enjoying with my bride and daughter a nice breakfast, and we were talking about some of the new menu items at eggtc with two locations in Kansas City, of course. The OG, the original, the place to see you and your fine team down there on Main on South Plaza, but also in Shawnee as well.
Well, I realize people come for the food, but I've been told that by people like you that they come for me. Well,
They do.
Yeah.
They do,
well,
because I've said this before, and all kidding aside, you know, when you go, especially, and I'm sure it's the same way at Shawnee, I just don't go there as much, and when you walk in, you know half the people in the restaurant, they're either sitting at your counter or they're sitting in booths and tables around enjoying the great food, but it's part of it's a very communal place, etc.
We're in a great place, a great part of the town. We have a great neighborhood feel, you're right. And people really also come for the reverse happy hour, at both locations, both the Shawnee and the Main Street location. We have a reverse happy hour with discount drinks. It starts every weekday morning, I should say, Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Often we have people coming from shifts that have ended, nurses or EMTs or other first responders who come in and want to settle down before they get to bed, have a drink, and have some breakfast. But we have people from all walks of life that come in and take part in that. It's, again, one of the ways in which we develop a community feel, that we express ourselves through really all the products we have.
You know, one of the great things about eggtc is there are so many great staple-style breakfast items that you can always rely on, but there's also interesting new menu items that come in and out as the seasons change and as the chef decides to change. And we've got several new omelets and pressed sandwiches to talk about. Let's start with some of the great omelets.
Primarily the Philly cheesesteak omelet. It's the kind of like the king of the omelets now. You know, imagine a Philly cheesesteak wrapped up in eggs and then being able to swallow it down with a cold beer
Sure.
or mimosa or something like that. But we had so much success with that, we would often have people finding out ahead of time that we're going to have it as a special. People plan their weeks around when we're going to have the Philly cheesesteak. Now they don't have to do that. They
Sure.
can come anytime they want. You know, it's steak, onions, and peppers, which all pretty much go really well with eggs. And don't forget the American cheese, which is something funny.
I love American cheese.
I know. I mean,
Millennials, you're not going to take away my American processed cheese.
They have no idea.
There's some great new pressed sandwiches that even if I want to go at 9 in the morning, I can have my sandwich.
We added 4 new sandwiches to the menu, all of which are pressed sandwiches. Some people call them paninis. You know, we talked about it earlier. Essentially, you're putting the bread and the meat and the cheese all together and pressing it together with heat. It comes out in a fairly compact sandwich you can hold in your hand. You can eat on the go if you need to. But the ones that we chose are fairly staples in that world. The Cubano sandwich with ham and Swiss cheese, spinach and pickles. Most everybody asks for extra pickles and extra mustard on that. It's a really, really good Cubano sandwich. We've had the most luck with the turkey avocado pesto, which is turkey and arugula, an avocado and pesto with Swiss cheese on sourdough. We've had this new menu for maybe 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now. From day one has been a big seller. And they are great to use for lunch. We sometimes sell them for breakfast, but because you never know what anybody's schedule is
Sure.
letting them do now. But primarily we sell them for lunch, and they carry well. They're not real big. It's I would say it's kind of a medium lunch. It's not light, but it's not heavy. It's kind of what people are looking for in some ways, unless they're coming in looking for eggs.
Well, if you're coming in looking for anything, breakfast items, maybe even sit down and enjoy a cocktail with you or anybody on the Shawnee side, enjoy some great food, maybe a drink.
Well, of course, I tell them they need to do the trifecta, right? They need to do eggtc for breakfast, Minsky's for lunch,
And El Centro
for dinner. And, you know, I'm waiting for that person that walks in the next day and say, hey, I did it. I did it. I did it. It was so great. I'm going to do it again next week. I mean, I think we could turn that into some sort of a contest or some sort of
We'll
get a merit
Johnson
badge
to come
for
up
that.
with some kind of medal or something.
Oh, man, that would be fantastic.
If you can't make it in, you can always have it delivered.
Yes, that's true. We actually have several options. We have, you can always do carryout. We do a lot of carryout business. If you are familiar with the Minsky's delivery areas, we will deliver it to you. We're fully partnered with Postmates. Think similar to an Uber where you call up an app through Postmates, you place your order, they put it all together for you, you pay through the app, they bring the food to you. Since we've partnered up with them, we've been able to streamline the process. So it's become, in another way, kind of an extra communal thing. I don't know these people I'm delivering to, but like the people who walk in the door, I see the same order every Monday or the same order every Saturday and Sunday, and I know, okay, this is so-and-so who's ordering such and such.
Right.
I know they're satisfied because they continue to do it, but it's a great service, and if you've never used it, it really provides you the maximum amount of time for you to keep and do whatever it is you're trying to do. I don't know what it is you do when you're not at work, but
usually you catch me at Etc. What do you mean you don't know what I do?
Okay, you're right. I do
I'm
try
meeting my wife at the counter with you.
I
Come
do
on.
try to warn the kitchen when you walk in, just so, oh, please, we got to get started now. This is going to get ugly.
Well, we're going to get you hooked up, whether it's Shawnee or go see my buddy Greg down on Main Street. Etc. 2 locations in Kansas City. Try their new menu items. Check out their catering program and Postmates to have it delivered. Do yourself a favor and go in and enjoy. And we're going to get you started with a gift card from Etc. If you're caller 11 at 576-77FX. Greggy, brother, it is always a pleasure, and I guess I'll see you later on this afternoon.
Sounds good. If not, then I'm sure it'll be tomorrow, too.
All right, brother. Give us a call now, 576-77FX.
The Slacker Morning Show.
Has the best variety of music.
It just entertains me on the way to work.
You guys play great music. It always puts me in a good mood.
On 101 The Fox.